Good morning to everyone. Welcome to today's webinar session. Today's webinar is about parabola, a very interesting topic in our Mathematics 2B subject. Mr. Vittal M. Vittal, PGT Mathematics, TSMS Elagandal, Karimnagar district, will be taking over the session. He is a very experienced faculty in our model schools who has already taken webinars on System of Circles chapter. Children, this is a new topic for you. Although you have learned little bit about parabola in physics, but still clearly you can have an idea about parabola in mathematics chapter. Now the session will be continued by Vittal sir.
Thank you, madam. Good morning, students. This is Vittal Mamilla, PGT Mathematics, PS Model School, Elagandal. So in the previous session, we have seen about the important chapter, System of Circle. Now in this session, we are going to see the third chapter, the most important chapter, parabola. So in fact, this parabola comes under conic section. So conic section is consist of for us 3 chapters. Third chapter, parabola. Fourth chapter, ellipse, and fifth chapter, hyperbola. So these 3 chapters are similar. Parabola, ellipse, and hyperbola are similar chapters. So if you are perfect in the parabola, then the next 2 chapters will be very easy. In the IPE, you are having the weightage of 7 marks for this parabola. So now let us see the part 1 of the parabola. In this, what we are going to learn is the introduction to conic sections. So the next one is introduction to parabola and equation of parabola and derivative of the equation of the parabola. So first let us see in the conic sections, what is the introduction of the parabola, and we are having 2 approaches to define conic section. The first approach is as plane section of a cone and the second one is as locus. So we can define conic section by 2 approaches. The first approach is as plane section of a cone and the second approach is as locus. So for your IP examination, entire chapter is having the definition through as locus only. But we should know how conic section is derived. For that, we need to learn as plane section of a cone also. So now let us see conic section definition through as plane section of a cone. So conic section as plane section of a cone. For that, what we need is we need a circular cone. So all of you know, students, what is a circular cone? So if you observe, these are the circular cone, and this circular cone is having base as circle and vertex as only point. So we are taking 2 circles and this circle is having also base as circle. So any circle, any base is a circle for this cone. So we are having 2 cones where the base is circle. So these cones are called as circular cones. Now to define a plane section of a cone, we need double napped right circular cone. So we need double napped right circular cone. For that we have seen what is a circular cone. So as students already you know what is a cone and all, you studied in the previous classes. For just revising, we are showing you what is a circular cone and what is a right circular cone and what is a double napped right circular cone. So already we have seen what is a circular cone. The cone which is having base as a circle is called circular cone. The cone which is having a base is a circle is called circular cone. And now let us see what is a right circular cone. So right circular cone means, if you observe here the figure, this is a cone, the base is a circle and this is a radius is this. Now h is a height. This is the radius of the circle Already we call it as a radius of cone also. And this is the height of the circle. Height of the circle we denote it by h, and radius of the circle we denote it by r. Now the angle between this height of the cone and radius of the cone is 90 degrees. Then this cone is called right circular cone. So what is a right circular cone? If the angle between radius and the height of the cone is right angle, then the cone is called right circular cone. So circular cone is nothing but the cone which is having base circle is called circular cone, and right circular cone means the angle between the height and the radius of the cone is 90 degrees. Then the cone is called right circular cone. So for defining the conic section as plane of section of cone, section of a cone, that means we are cutting the cone with a plane. So for that, what we need is, we need double napped right circular cone. So we have seen what is circular cone and what is right circular cone. Now let us see what is a double napped right circular cone. So to cut a cone, we need a double napped right circular cone for getting the conic sections. So conic section, the term itself saying conic is nothing but cone, section is nothing but dividing. So we should divide the cone such a way that to get either ellipse or parabola or hyperbola. So for that we need double napped right circular cone. So what is double napped right circular cone? Let us see. We are having two cones and both are right circular cones. So now the second cone, I am making it invert of the second cone. Now this is the first cone, and second cone I am making arrangement like this. So this is called double napped right circular cone. The upper one is a upper nap and lower one is, and this is the upper nap and this is the lower nap, and this is called vertex of the cone, double napped right circular cone. So for this we can take figure like this. This is a double napped right circular cone. So we need to cut this cone so that we will get a different type of figures like parabola, ellipse and hyperbola. So this is the double napped right circular cone. In this, and this axis is called axis of the cone, and this cone, upper inverted cone, we will call it as upper nap of the double napped cone, and this is the lower nap of the right circular cone. So axis of the cone, the middle line will be axis of the cone, and this is the upper nap and this is the lower nap of the cone. Now we need the plane to cut the cone. So this double napped cone, if we cut it, what we are going to get is, we will get circle, we also get parabola, ellipse and hyperbola. So these four figures we are going to get by cutting the double napped right circular cone. Let us see in the detail how we will get it. Okay, so first of all, we'll get a circle. How we are going to get the circle? Let us see in the next slide. And parabola, ellipse and hyperbola. So circle chapter already we have completed. Now the third chapter is a parabola, and fourth chapter is ellipse, and the fifth chapter is hyperbola. And all the chapters are similar. Parabola, ellipse and hyperbola are similar chapters. If you learn very perfectly the parabola, then remaining two chapters are very easy to you. Okay, so be careful students, while you can note down the points also, whatever the important points told by me, you can note down. So now in the parabola, ellipse and hyperbola, first let us see how circle we are getting. The circle we are getting, this is the double napped cone and this is the plane. We are cutting the plane, sorry, we are cutting the double napped cone with this plane in such a way that the angle between the cone and the plane should be 90 degrees. Now let us observe here this figure. I am cutting this double napped cone with this plane. Here I am cutting like this in the straight. So the angle is 90 degrees. So if you observe here beta and R, what is the beta here? let the cutting plane makes an angle beta with the axis of the cone. So what is beta here? Beta is the angle between axis of the cone cutting plane. So if beta is called 90 degrees, then the section we will get it as a circle. So how do we get a circle in the conic section? If we cut the double napped right circular cone with a plane with the making an angle of 90 degrees. So if you observe here, this is a 90 degrees. If you cut beta as 90 degrees, then you will get a circle. Okay. Now let us see next parabola. How do we get parabola? So now double napped cone and the plane, we are cutting the plane, we are cutting the double napped right circular cone in such a way that this is a alpha. Alpha is a generated angle of the cone and beta is the angle between the cone and plane. So if you observe here, beta is angle between axis of the cone and cutting the plane. So in the previous also we have seen when do we get the circle? Circle we got if the beta is 90 degrees. Okay, the angle between axis of the cone and cutting the plane is 90 degrees, then we got a circle. Now, if beta is angle between axis of the cone and cutting the plane and alpha be the generating angle of the cone. So I am having alpha and beta. So I am cutting a double napped cone such a way that alpha is equal to beta. If alpha and beta both are equal, then the section we are going to get is a parabola. So if you observe here, this curve is a parabola. So we are going to get a section as parabola. When do we get? If alpha is equal to beta. What is alpha here? Alpha be the generating angle of the cone and beta is the angle between axis of the cone and cutting the plane. So for getting the different type of conics, we need to cut a double napped cone in a different type of angles. In the first one, if we cut beta is equal to 90 degrees, then we got a circle. And the second one, if alpha is equal to beta, if both angles are same, then we are going to get a conic which is called a parabola. Okay. Now next one is ellipse. How do we get ellipse? So this is a double napped right circular cone and this is the plane which we are cutting. Okay. Now this is a beta and this is the alpha. What is alpha and what is beta? Alpha is a generated angle, already we have explained, and beta is the angle between cutting plane and the vertex of the cone. Now, if alpha less than beta less than 90, then the section is called an ellipse. So when do we get an ellipse? If we cut a cone such a way that if alpha and beta both should be less than 90 and also alpha less than beta. If beta is equal to 90 degrees, we got a circle. If alpha is equal to beta, then we got an parabola. And the third case, if alpha less than beta less than 90, then the section is called an ellipse. And next one is hyperbola. How do we get a hyperbola? If we cut a double napped right circular cone in such a way that this is a alpha and this is a beta. If 0 less than or equal to beta less than alpha, then the section we are going to get is a hyperbola. So everything is depend on the plane how we are cutting the double napped right circular cone. Okay, so this is a hyperbola. When do we get a hyperbola? If 0 less than or equal to beta less than alpha, then the section is called hyperbola. Now let us summarize whatever we learned through conic section of plane. If beta is equal to 90, then the section is circle. If alpha is equal to beta, then the section is parabola. So this is a symbol of parabola. In fact, which is a U-shaped curve is a parabola. If alpha less than beta less than 90 degrees, then the section is ellipse. Ellipse is nothing but it is an oval shape circle. Okay, so if alpha less than beta less than 90, then the section is ellipse, and this is the symbol of the ellipse. And next one is if 0 less than or equal to beta less than alpha, then the section is hyperbola, and this is the symbol of hyperbola. Two open curves is a symbol for hyperbola. Now let us see the second approach of the conic section. The first approach is as plane section of a cone. This is only for your understanding, and in the exam, no one will ask question from the as plane section of a cone. So for introducing the conic section, we need to know how conic sections are got. We got parabola, we got we got circle, parabola, hyperbola, and ellipse through section of a plane section of a cone. Now let us see the most important one is as locus. Definition of a conic section through locus. This is the most important in the public examination or in the entire chapters we are having through the conic section through locus. So what is a conic? The definition of a conic is the locus of a point moving on a plane such that its distances from a fixed point and a fixed straight line in the plane are in a constant ratio E is called conic. So this is the definition of a conic. Let us observe the three important points we are having. One is a fixed point and one is a fixed straight line and the ratio E. So what is the definition of conic? The locus of a point moving on a plane such that its distances from a fixed point and a fixed straight line in the plane are in a constant ratio E is called conic. Let us see each and every term with a diagram. Now, this is a fixed straight line. So as we said in the definition, fixed straight line, and this is a point P. Now, the locus of this point P give us a conic. So this is a fixed point. Now S is a fixed point and P is any point in a plane. Now SP. So we are joining S and P. What is SP here? SP is a distance between fixed point and a point in a parabola. And PM. PM is a perpendicular distance from a point P to the fixed straight line. Now let us see the definition once again. The locus of a point, though this is the point P, the locus of point P moving on a plane such that its distances from a fixed point and fixed straight line in the plane are in the constant ratio E is called conic. So this is nothing but S is a fixed point and this line is a fixed straight line L. And fixed point is called focus. So this is an important point, children. Fixed point is always we call it as a focus and fixed straight line is called as a directrix. So fixed point is called focus, a new term which we are going to learn. Entire chapter, the important terms are focus, directrix and eccentricity E. So fixed point is called focus and fixed straight line L is called directrix. So if you observe, this S is a focus and this straight line is called directrix. So henceforth, we will take a fixed point as focus and fixed straight line is as directrix. So now SP by PM is equal to E. What is SP here? SP is a distance between fixed point and a point in a plane, and PM is a distance between perpendicular distance from point P to directrix. So SP by PM is equal to E. This is an important definition of a conic. So what is the definition of conic? Let us see once again. The locus of a point moving on a plane. What is a point here? This is a point P. So the locus of this point P gives us a conic. Okay, the locus of a point P moving on a plane such that its distances from a fixed point. Distances from a fixed point means SP is a distance from fixed point and a fixed straight line, and PM is a distance between fixed straight line and point P are in a constant ratio E is called conic. That means SP by PM is equal to E is called conic. Okay, so where S is a focus and this L is a directrix. Okay, children. Next, now let us see what is E here. So SP is the distance between fixed point focus and point P, and PM is the perpendicular distance from P to the fixed straight line, which is called directrix. Fixed point is called focus and fixed straight line is called directrix, and E is called eccentricity. E is called eccentricity. So the most three important terms what we have learned is focus, directrix, eccentricity. So what is focus? Focus is a fixed point. And what is directrix? Directrix is a fixed straight line. So what is conic definition? Conic definition is nothing but SP by PM is equal to E. What is SP? The distance between fixed point and point P is a SP, and PM is the perpendicular distance from P to the fixed straight line, which is a directrix. So SP, PM, and E is a eccentricity. So finally, we can say that if SP by PM is equal to E, then it is called conic. Now, SP by PM, this is a focus and directrix. E is eccentricity. Now let us see the straight line of the plane passing through the focus and perpendicular to directrix is called the axis. This is one more term which we are going to learn now. Axis. What is the axis? The straight line of the plane passing through the focus and perpendicular to the directrix is called focus. Is called axis of the conic. So this is the line which is we call it as axis. So always axis is a straight line passing through the focus and perpendicular to the directrix. Okay, so remember students here, always focus lies on the axis only. Focus lies on the axis only. The line which is having focus is called axis. Also it is a perpendicular to directrix. So now we learned focus, directrix, axis, and eccentricity. Next. So this is a axis and this is directrix, point P, and this is, what do we call this? SS focus. And what is this line? SP? SP is the distance between focus and point P. And what is PM? PM is a perpendicular distance from point P to the directrix. This is PM. S is a focus and this line is a directrix, and vertical line is a directrix, horizontal line is axis. And the conic definition is SP by PM is equal to E. Now let us see different type of conic, how we are getting. So depending on the E is nothing but what? What is E? E is a eccentricity. E is what? E is eccentricity, which is a ratio of SP and PM. So E decides which type of conic it is. Okay. If E is equal to 1, the first one is, if E is equal to 1, the conic is called a parabola. If E is equal to 1, the conic is parabola. So if E is equal to 1, if I substitute in SP by PM is equal to E, E is equal to 1, what happens? SP is equal to PM. That means the distance between S and P should be equal to the distance between PM. So if SP and PM both are in equal distance, then the conic is called parabola. This is the most important one. If SP is equal to PM, then the conic is called parabola. So in the parabola, always eccentricity is 1. If eccentricity is 1, then the conic is called parabola. So always in the parabola, SP is equal to PM. So already we learned what is SP and what is PM. So what is SP? SP is the distance between fixed point and the point in plane. Our fixed point we'll call it as focus. That means SP is the distance between P and S. Same way, PM is the distance between directrix and the point P. In fact, that is a perpendicular distance. Now next conic. The first conic is if E is equal to 1, the conic is called parabola. Then if E is less than 1, that means eccentricity value lies between 0 and 1, then the conic is called an ellipse. If 0 less than E less than 1, then the conic is called an ellipse. And the next one. So in this, what is the relation between SP and PM? So always SP is less than PM. If SP is less than PM, then the conic is, we are going to get the conic is ellipse. And the next one is, if E is greater than 1, the eccentricity value is greater than 1, then the conic is called hyperbola. So the relationship between SP and PM, SP is greater than PM, then the conic is hyperbola. So what is deciding the conic shape? The conic shape is decided by eccentricity value. If the eccentricity is 1, it is a parabola. If eccentricity is lies between 0 and 1, it is a ellipse. If eccentricity is greater than 1, then it is hyperbola. So parabola, ellipse, hyperbola. So these 3 conic sections we are going to learn, and 3rd chapter as parabola, 4th chapter as ellipse, and 5th chapter as hyperbola. Now let us see about parabola. So let us see introduction about the parabola. Already we have seen what is the parabola definition. SP by PM is equal to 1, right? The conic definition is SP by PM is called E. But wherein coming to parabola, always eccentricity is 1. So SP by PM is equal to 1, then it is called as parabola. SP is equal to PM. So this is the symbol of the parabola curve. Observe here, this is a straight horizontal line and this is a vertical line. So what is the definition of locus? Definition of conic we have seen. We need 2 points. One is a fixed point, one is a fixed straight line, and this is a fixed point which we already call it as focus, and this is a fixed straight line which we call it as, what do we call? It is directrix. So this is a focus, yes, is a focus, and this line is a directrix. And now this is SP and PM. Now the locus of this point B, the locus of this point P gives us shape parabola. So this is a parabola. So always in the parabola, SP is equal to PM. So this distance is equal to this distance. You can observe if I take point P here, the 2 distances, this is the 2 units, this is also 2 units. So wherever you take on this curve, the distance between SP and PM will be equal. So if I take a point P here, this is the distance SP and this is the distance PM. So both are equal, right? This is the 2 units and this is also 2 units. If I take a point here, then also this distance will be equal to this distance. Wherever you take, if you take point P here, then this 2 distance and this distance will be equal. So always in the parabola, SP is equal to PM. So what is SP? Already we know. The distance between fixed point, this is a fixed point. In fact, we call it as focus. and point P. And what is PM? PM is, already we know, the perpendicular distance from P to the fixed straight line, which is the directrix, is called PM. Now let us see the definition of the parabola. A plane curve which is in U shape. So always parabola will be in the U-shaped curve. A plane curve generated by a point P, this is a point P, so that its distance from a fixed point is equal to its distance from fixed straight line. So if the distance from fixed point to point P is equal to fixed distance between straight line and point P is equal, then we can say this is a parabola. So always the only one thing, SP is equal to PM, then we'll get a parabola. Okay, next let us see equation of parabola. Equation of parabola, which is the most important one. So we are having two types of equation. The first one is general form of equation, and second one is standard form of equation. So these equations depending on the axis. So if we take axis as x-axis, we will take a standard form. If the axis is a arbitrary axis, then we'll get a general form. Let us see what is a general form. This is the general form of the equation of the parabola, x minus alpha whole square. Let us see how to derive this in the next slide. Now, what is the general form? X minus alpha whole square plus y minus beta whole square is equal to Lx plus my plus n whole square by L square plus m square. So this is the general form of the parabola. What is the general form? X minus alpha whole square plus y minus beta whole square is equal to Lx plus my plus n whole square by L square plus m square. So here alpha and beta is a focus. Let us see standard form. So this is the most important one, is y square is equal to 4ax. So in the public examination, you will get a 4 marks on this derivation of this standard form, which is a y square is equal to 4ax. Let us see in the next slides. So first, let us see what is the general form. Let us derive the equation of parabola general form. So first, this is a directrix and this is a arbitrary axis. SP, PM, and this is the parabola. S is the focus. S is the focus. Focus we are taking as alpha comma beta as focus, and P is x comma y. P is a point in a plane which is a x comma y, and this is a PM. So this is a vertex. We will call it as a vertex A, and this is S alpha comma beta is a focus, and this line L is a directrix. Now through A, if I draw a line, this we will take it as y-axis. This is a perpendicular line to the axis which is parallel to the directrix and passing through the vertex. And this horizontal line we are taking it as axis. So this axis is an arbitrary axis. Now let us see derivation of this. So as we know, what is the definition of parabola? So the definition of parabola is SP is equal to PM, right? SP is equal to PM. In fact, SP by PM is equal to E is a conic, and E is equal to 1 if you substitute, then the parabola is, then we are going to get a parabola. SP by PM is equal to 1. So if I cross multiply, I'll get SP is equal to PM. Now let us see what is SP here. Focus, S is a focus, alpha comma beta is a focus, and P is a x comma y point. Now distance between 2 points. What is the distance between 2 point formula? Already you know, children. distance between 2 points is under root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So this is the formula which we are going to use now. So what is the x1 y1? So here, yes, alpha comma beta, I'll take this as x1 and y1, and this p is x2 and y2. Then sp is equal to x2 means x minus x1 is alpha. So x minus alpha whole square plus y minus beta whole square is the distance between sp. Now what is pm? So pm is directrix, right? This line pm is a perpendicular distance. In fact, let us see what is the equation of directrix now. I am taking the equation of directrix as Lx plus My plus n is equal to 0. As you have studied, the equation of straight line is always in the form of Lx plus My plus n is equal to 0. As directrix is a equation of straight line, I am taking directrix equation as Lx plus My plus n is equal to 0. As you know, what is Pm? Perpendicular distance from directrix to point Pm. And SP already we have seen Pm. What is the Pm here? This is the perpendicular distance, right? So already you know what is the perpendicular distance formula from a point P. So if x1, y1 is a point and ax plus by plus c is equal to 0 is a straight line, then the perpendicular distance formula is ax plus by plus c by under root of a square plus b square. Same way here the point is x and y and the straight line is Lx plus My plus n. So this is the equation of, this is the distance of Pm. Pm is equal to Lx plus My plus n by under root of L square plus m square. How we got this one? Using the perpendicular distance formula from a point P. So we know that Sp is equal to Pm. Sp is under root of x minus alpha whole square plus y minus beta whole square is Sp. And what is a Pm? Pm is a perpendicular distance from a point P. That is Lx plus My plus n by under root of L square plus m square. In fact, mod will come here. Mod of Lx plus My plus n. Here also mod of Lx plus My plus n. Now, squaring on the both sides. While squaring on the both sides, what I will get is square and root gets cancel. X minus alpha whole square plus y minus beta whole square is equal to, so while squaring this, numerator will become Lx plus My plus n whole square and denominator is L square plus m square. So this is the equation of parabola in the general form. So what is the equation of parabola general form? X minus alpha whole square plus y minus beta whole square is equal to Lx plus My plus n whole square by L square plus m square. Now let us see the next one, which is the most important derivation and the most expected question for 7 marks is derivation of the standard formula. Y square is equal to 4ax. Standard form is y square is equal to 4ax. So before deriving the formula, let us see the prerequisites for that. So we know that I will take axis as x-axis and directrix, and this is a point P, and this is a focus, fixed point we call it as focus, and SP, you know what is SP here, and PM also you know, and S we call it as focus, and this line we will take it as a directrix. So for definition we need focus and directrix, and the fixed point is we call it as focus, and fixed straight line we call it as directrix. And I'll take this as axis. What is axis? Axis is nothing but the straight line which is having focus, which is passing through the focus is called axis. So what is the axis? So axis is always passing through focus and which is also perpendicular to directrix. Okay. Now here I'll take axis as x-axis. So axis is x-axis and z. What is z here? Z is a projection of S on L. What is z here? Z is a projection of S. This projection of S on L. L is this is the L, right? Directrix is L. So always AS is equal to AZ. The distance between AS and AZ is equal to A, because I am taking this axis is x-axis and A is a vertex 0, 0 and S is A, 0. A is 0, 0 is a vertex. So this vertex we call it as a vertex of the parabola. So vertex of the parabola is 0, 0. So this and Z is a projection of S on Z. So what is the value of Z then? If S is A, 0 and this is the left hand side, so Z will be minus A, 0. S is A, 0 and A is 0, 0 and A we call it as vertex and Z we call it as projection of S on L. The coordinates of Z is minus A, 0 and this line curve is a parabola. Now SP, for parabola we know that SP is equal to PM. Focus S is A, 0. So to derive the standard formula, students, this is the most important for 7-mark question. Once again reiterating, so be careful. Focus is S, A, 0 and vertex is A, 0, 0 and SA is equal to AZ is equal to A. So PM, what is a PM? This is the distance PM, right? So perpendicular distance or in fact PM. So from distance from M to this is how much? Is same distance, right? So this distance is A. So this distance also A. And this distance is X and this distance also X. So total PM value becomes X plus A, right? So this is A, you know, right? How we got this as A? Because AZ is equal to A and this is a perpendicular to AZ. So we can take same distance. That means this also A and this is a X. So total PM will be X plus A. So the value of PM is X plus A, right? So these are the prerequisites for deriving the standard form of the parabola. Now, equation of parabola in standard form. This is important for 7 marks. Children, you all should note it down. So, equation of parabola in standard form. So, first let us take axis. Diagram is the most important because for diagram also you will have 1 mark for diagram. Okay. So, total 7 marks in which 1 mark for the diagram. So remember how to draw the diagram. So first axis, let us draw the axis. Next, this is a directrix, point P in a plane, and on the axis I am taking a fixed point and this fixed point is a focus. Let us take this as S, yes, and PS, and this is a PM, SP and PM, and S is called focus and this line is called directrix and this horizontal line is axis and this curve is a parabola. The curve is a parabola wherever the curve is meeting the axis and this is vertex A. Right, vertex A, this we also call it as vertex of parabola. So this is a parabola and this is a vertex of the parabola. And this is a z. What is a z? Z is a projection of S on L. So the coordinates of A is 0, comma 0. The coordinates of Z is minus A, comma 0. And A 0, comma 0 is a vertex. Now let us see proof. And this is the x-axis. And this is the x dash, y dash. So this is the figure. So how to draw the figure? Students, you practice the drawing of this figure also. X-axis, y-axis, directrix, parabola, focus, vertex, P and M. Now let us prove this in the point wise. Proof. First I am writing whatever the values are given. Let S A comma 0 be the focus. Let S A comma 0 be the focus. And let L be the directrix. This is the L and this is the L is a directrix. Let Z minus A comma 0 be the projection of S on L. So we have written S, L and Z. Now let A0 comma 0 midpoint of S, Z. So already we know that AS and AZ distances are same. Then we can say A is a midpoint of S, Z. What I am doing here, whatever there in the figure, I am just noting down. Let S A comma 0 be the focus. Let L be the directrix. Let Z minus A comma 0 be the projection of S on L. Let A 0 comma 0 midpoint of S, Z. A lies on the parabola. So this A is, already we know that A is what? Vertex. So A lies on the parabola because SA is equal to AZ. So already we know that always the distances are same. So SA is equal to AZ and A we call it as vertex. So A is called vertex of the parabola. So these are the important point we have noted from the figure. Now let us see the next. Let YA Y dash. So what is YA Y dash? This is YA Y dash. So YA Y dash be the straight line parallel to the directrix. So this is a YA Y dash, right? How it is? It is a parallel to the directrix, right? So YA Y dash is a straight line parallel to the directrix. In fact, it passes through the vertex. ZX. So this is Z and X. So ZX we take it as x-axis and YY dash as y-axis. So for proving this, we are taking XX dash or ZX dash as x-axis and YY dash as y-axis. Then the equation of the directrix. Already you know what is this? Equation of directrix is x plus a is equal to 0. How we got this one? Because this is the straight line. What is the straight line? Equation is x is equal to minus a. So x is equal to minus a is the equation of this directrix. So equation of directrix is x is equal to minus a. In fact, we can write x plus a is equal to 0. If pxy is a point on the parabola, pxy is a point on the parabola, and pm is the perpendicular distance from P to the directrix L. So this everything we know that we are writing in a step-by-step form to get 7 marks. Okay. PM is the perpendicular distance from P to directrix L. Then the parabola definition, SP by PM is equal to E, which is equal to 1. So if SP by PM is equal to E, I can write SP is equal to PM. Right? SP is equal to PM. So whenever is distance is there, I'll take squaring on the both sides, right? This already you know that SP square is equal to PM square. So what is now? We need to find out SP square and PM square. If we equate these two, then we'll get the standard form of the parabola. So SP square and PM square. So to find out SP, S is equal to A comma 0, P is equal to XY. So this is PXY and this is S A comma 0. How to find the distance between SP? Already you know that the distance between 2-point formula. let us take a is a x1 y x1 and 0 is y1 and this is x2 y2, and the distance between 2-point formula is under root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Now SP, now let us substitute in this, and this is a PM. We know what is the value of PM here. PM is x plus a. So how we got x plus a, already we have explained. Again, this is distance is a and this distance is x. SP square. So how to find XP square? X2 minus x1 whole square, that is x minus a whole square plus y minus 0 whole square is my SP square. X minus a whole square plus y minus 0 whole square is SP square. And now I will substitute here. SP square is x minus a whole square plus y minus 0 whole square is equal to PM. PM square, right? From this equation, SP square is this, x minus a whole square plus y minus 0 whole square is SP square, and PM square is x plus a whole square. Already we know what is the PM value is x plus a. Now let us divide it, expand it. So x minus a whole square is a minus b whole square formula, a square plus b square minus 2ab, which is x square plus a square minus 2ax. So this is x minus a whole square, and y minus 0 will be y only. I am writing as y square is equal to x plus a whole square. So again, expanding x plus a whole square will get as x square plus a square plus 2ax. So in this equation, so total this is SP square and this is PM square. So SP and PM. Now I can cancel left hand side and right hand terms. X square cancel. A square also cancels. Then I'll get, I'm sending minus 2x to right hand side. So then I'll get y square is equal to 2ax plus 2ax, which is 4ax. So thus the equation of the parabola is y square is equal to 4ax. So this is the proof of the standard equation of the parabola. Okay, children, this is the most important one. Note down, take the notes and practice once or twice, and expected 7-mark question. Always it will come in the public examination for 7-mark question, which is a very easy. Okay, right. Now let us see now some remarks. If the focus is situated on the left side of the directrix, the equation of the parabola with the vertex as origin and the axis as x-axis is y square is equal to minus 4ax. So if you observe till now, the equation of parabola as y square is equal to 4ax we have taken. So y square is equal to 4ax, where focus is a comma 0. Now in this case, instead of taking focus in the right x-axis, I'll take on the negative x-axis. The focus will be in the negative x-axis, which is s minus a comma 0. So this is the figure of the y square is equal to minus 4ax. The only difference between the standard form and this is the focus is minus a comma 0, which is the focus is situated in the left side of the directrix. So previously the focus was on the right side of the directrix. So if the focus is on the right side of the directrix, then we taken this as standard form, which is y square is equal to 4ax. Now once again let us see, if the focus is situated on the left side of the directrix, so here the focus is left side of the directrix. So directrix will be here. Then the equation of parabola with the vertex as origin, and this vertex is origin, and the axis as x-axis. So this is x-axis, axis as x-axis, because the focus is lying on the x-axis. I am taking axis as x-axis. Then the equation of parabola becomes y square is equal to minus 4ax. The only difference between the standard form and this is the focus is situated on the left side of the directrix. So directrix will be here. Okay, if the focus is right hand side of the directrix, it is a standard form, which is y square is equal to 4ax. If the focus is on the left side of the directrix, then the equation of parabola is y square is equal to minus 4ax. Next, let us see. The vertex being the origin, if the axis of the parabola is taken as y-axis, equation of parabola is x square is equal to 4ay or x square is equal to minus 4ay according as the focus is above or below the axis. So as of now, we have seen two parabolas. One is a standard form, which is y square is equal to 4ax, and second one is y square is equal to minus 4ax. In the both the cases, the axis is x-axis, right? If the axis is x-axis, then we'll get the equation of parabola as y square is equal to 4x or y square is equal to minus 4x depending on the focus. If the focus is left hand side of the directrix, we'll get y square is equal to minus 4x. If the focus is right side of the directrix, we'll get y square is equal to 4ax. That is the two form. Now, instead of taking axis as x-axis, I'll take axis as y-axis. So what is mean by axis? The axis is nothing but the straight line which is passing through the focus is called axis, right? Now let us see horizontal. Now what is the axis here? So axis is nothing but wherever focus is there, that line is called axis. Now this line is an axis now, which is a y-axis we am taking as axis. Previously I have taken x-axis as axis. If x-axis as axis, then the equation of parabola is y square is equal to 4ax and y square is equal to minus 4ax. And if I take axis as y-axis here, now my equations are x square is equal to 4ay. X square is equal to 4ay if the focus is above the x-axis. Same way, if the focus is below the x-axis, then if this is the focus, and this equation of parabola will be x square is equal to minus 4ay. So what deciding the parabola equation? Deciding the axis. If the axis is x-axis, we'll get y square is equal to 4ax or y square is equal to minus 4ax. If the axis is y-axis, we'll get x square is equal to 4ay or x square is equal to minus 4ay. If when we are getting positive, we are getting the positive x square is equal to 4ay if the focus lies above the x-axis. If the focus lies below the x-axis, we are getting x square is equal to minus 4ay. So this is about four different type of vertex. Sorry, four different type of parabola. Y square is equal to 4x, y square is equal to minus 4x, x square is equal to 4ay, and x square is equal to minus 4ay. Okay, next. If S lies on directrix, so then the locus is a straight line passing through S and perpendicular to L. We take this case as the degenerated parabola. So if you observe here, till now we have taken the focus is either on the x-axis or on the y-axis or on the arbitrary axis, right? So instead of focus lying on any axis, if the S lies on the directrix itself, then the locus is straight line. So here we are not getting any parabola, we get the line as straight line. So if S lies on directrix, then the locus is straight line passing through S and perpendicular to S. We take this case as the degenerated parabola. So this case we take it as degenerated parabola. When do we take this? This we'll take if focus lies on the directrix. If focus lies on the directrix, we get locus as straight line. If the focus lies on the axis, we get as a parabola, and depending on the different condition, SP and PM if equal, right? So if S lies on directrix, then the locus is straight line. We call it as
degenerated parabola. Next, let us see the nature of the curve. So the curve y square is equal to 4ax. Let us talk about the nature of the curve. So the nature of the curve will be, let the curve represented by the equation y square is equal to 4ax. So we'll take the nature of this curve, y square is equal to 4ax. First one, if y is equal to 0, what happens? If y is equal to 0, if I substitute y is equal to 0 here, 4ax is equal to 0 and x is equal to 0. So what does it mean? If y is equal to 0, we are getting x also 0. So in this case, we can say the curve passes through the origin. So already we know that it passes through the vertex 0, 0. So the curve y square is equal to 4ax always passes through origin 0, 0. And the second point, if x is equal to 0. So what happens if x is equal to 0? If x is equal to 0, if I substitute here, if x is equal to 0, then y square is equal to 0, which gives y is equal to 0, 0. As it is a degree 2, I'll get it 2 zeros. Y is equal to 0, 0 twice. Hence, y-axis is a tangent to the parabola at the origin. So already we know that in the parabola, the y-axis is a tangent to the parabola at the origin, right? And next one is, as x increases infinitely, the two values of y also increases infinitely. If x increases infinitely, the two values of y also increases infinitely in magnitude. So the two branches of the parabola is lying on the opposite sides of the x-axis, extended to infinity towards the positive direction of the axis. Now let us understand this. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. Because I am taking standard parabola, I'll take this as x-axis and this as y-axis. Now observe this curve. This is a curve y square is equal to 4ax, right? Because I am taking axis as x-axis and this as y-axis. Now let us see once again. As x increases infinitely, that means the x value is this one, right? If this value is increasing right hand side, the two values of y also increases infinitely magnitude. That means if x increases, the value of the magnitude of this curve is also increases. So if you observe here, this will go up like this infinitely, up and down. So the two branches, that means this is one branch and the down is one branch. If I take up is a one branch and down is a one branch, then the two branches of the parabola lying on opposite sides of the x-axis. This is a one side of x-axis and this is a one side of the x-axis, extended to infinity towards positive direction of x-axis. So now if you observe this figure, if x increases infinitely, the two branches of the two values of y also increases infinitely in magnitude. So the two branches of the parabola is lying on opposite sides of the x-axis, extended to infinity towards the positive direction of the x-axis. I hope you understand this one. Hence it is an open curve, right? So this is an open curve. So always parabola is an open curve. Whatever the parabola, either general form, standard form, whatever it is, the parabola is always a U-shaped open curve. Okay. Now let us see one note. As noted earlier, already we know this. Once again reiterating it because this is the most important terms. As noted earlier, S is called focus and the line L is called the directrix of the parabola. For the parabola y square is equal to 4ax and a is a greater than 0, the focus is yes a comma 0, directrix is x plus a is equal to 0 and the axis is y is equal to 0. So why I am taking axis as y is equal to 0? And for this curve y square is equal to 4ax, what is the equation of axis? You know that equation of x axis is y is equal to 0 and equation of y axis is x is equal to 0, right? So that is why I am taking axis is x axis and equation of x axis is y is equal to 0. The point a 0 comma 0 is called vertex of the parabola. So once again, let us see. For the parabola y square is equal to 4x, the focus is s a comma 0, directrix is x plus a is equal to 0 and axis is y is equal to 0 and the point a 0 comma 0 is vertex of the parabola. Now second one, if the vertex is at h comma k, that means as of now we have taken vertex as 0 comma 0. So as you know, translation of axis in the you have studied in the first year, translation of axis. So if the origin is shifted to h comma k, so if the vertex is at h comma k and the axis of parabola parallel to x axis, then by shifting the origin h comma k by translation of axis and using the result y square is equal to 4ax, we can obtain its equation as y minus k whole square is equal to 4a into x minus h. So what is the difference between y square is equal to 4ax and y minus k whole square is equal to 4a into x minus h? The only difference is the first standard form, the vertex is 0 comma 0, wherein in the second form we are taking vertex as we have shifted origin to h comma k, then we got an equation as y minus k whole square is equal to 4a into x minus h. So once again, let us see. If the vertex is at h comma k and the axis of the parabola parallel to x axis. So previously it was axis is x axis. Now axis is parallel to x axis. Then by shifting the origin to h comma k by translation of axis and using the result y square is equal to 4ax, we can obtain its equation as y minus k whole square is equal to 4a into x minus h. Now let us see some definitions. So the definitions are: the line joining two points of a parabola is called chord. As you know, in the circles, what is a chord of the circle? Chord of a circle is the line joining two points of a circle is called chord. Same way, chord of the parabola is also the line joining two points of a parabola is called a chord of a parabola. Let us see the diagram. So this is called chord of the parabola. PP dash is called chord of the parabola. PP dash is chord of the parabola. Now let us see one more term, focal chord. So the chord is only the line joining two points irrespective of focus. So in the chord, we are not bothering about the focus, but focal chord. Next one is focal chord. What is a focal chord? A chord passing through focus is called focal chord. So if chord passes through the focus, then the chord is called focal chord. So let us draw the diagram. This is same, right? Chord, but it passing through the focus. So QQ dash is focal chord. So what is a focal chord here? A chord, if chord passes through the focus, then the chord is called focal chord of the parabola. Next one is double ordinate. What is a double ordinate? A chord through a point P on the parabola which is perpendicular to the axis of the parabola is called the double ordinate of the point P. So remember students, so first one is chord. So for chord, we have taken simply join the 2 points. The line joining 2 points of the parabola is called chord. And focal chord is nothing but the chord which is passing through the focus is called focal chord. Now double ordinate. So the double ordinate is a chord through a point P on the parabola which is a perpendicular. So here the extra point we are getting as perpendicular to the axis of the parabola is called double ordinate. So this is the axis, this is the parabola, this is S, and this line is a double ordinate. So if you observe this, PP dash is perpendicular to axis. This PP dash is perpendicular to axis. So in the first two definition, we were not talking about the perpendicular, but here this is a chord. PP dash is a chord, right? Yeah, it is a chord, but it is also perpendicular to the axis. So then this is called double ordinate. This is called double ordinate. PP dash is double ordinate is parabola. The only difference between chord and double ordinate is this is making a 90 degrees. Angle making 90 degrees, then it is called double ordinate. Now let us see latus rectum. So same like previous focal chord, if this PP dash if passes through the focus, the double ordinate passing through the focus is called the latus rectum. And latus rectum is the most important, students. Definitely they'll ask what is the length of latus rectum. Let us see in the next slide what is the length of latus rectum. So first of all, what is latus rectum? The double ordinate passing through the focus is called the latus rectum of the parabola. So if you see the diagram, this is same diagram. QQ dash is 90 degrees. This is double ordinate, right? Double ordinate, but it also passes through the focus. Then QQ dash is called latus rectum of parabola. So what is latus rectum? A double ordinate passing through the focus is called the latus rectum of the parabola. So in fact, what is latus rectum? I can define the chord which is passing the focus and perpendicular to the x-axis is called latus rectum. Okay, so latus rectum is the double ordinate. Sorry, the latus rectum is the double ordinate passing through the focus is called the latus rectum of the parabola. Here QQ dash is a parabola, the latus rectum of the parabola, and PP dash is, it is not passing through focus, so simply we will call it as double ordinate. But the most important one is latus rectum. Now let us see length of the latus rectum. So how to find the length of the latus rectum? As you know, what is the latus rectum? Latus rectum is the chord which is a perpendicular to the axis and passing through the focus is called latus rectum. Now let us draw the latus rectum. This is x-axis and y-axis. This is the focus. Focus is S, A comma 0. XX dash is my axis. And this is the latus rectum, right? Which is a passing through focus and perpendicular to x-axis. Now, if you observe, LL dash is my latus rectum. LL dash is latus rectum. Okay. Now, length of latus rectum is nothing but LS L dash. The length of LS L dash will become the length of the latus rectum. Sometimes this proof of the length of the latus rectum can be asked for 2 marks. And this is also important one. So LS L dash, L I can take as A comma small l, the distance from this to if I am taking as L, and this is a minus A comma L. The equation of the parabola is y square is equal to 4ax. Already we know that the equation of parabola is y square is equal to 4ax. Let LSL dash be the latus rectum of the parabola. LSL dash be the latus rectum of the parabola. Let SL is equal to L dash. This length is, if I take small l, then the coordinates become A comma L, because this length, you know that this is the length is A and this length is L. So I can take the coordinates of capital L are A comma L. And this L is lies on the parabola, right? So if L is lies on the parabola, that means it passes through the parabola. In fact, I can substitute a comma l values in the equation of parabola y square is equal to 4ax. So L lies on parabola equation 1, substituting x is equal to a and y is equal to L. Then what happens? L square is equal to 4a into a, because y square is nothing but L square. 4a, x is nothing but into a. So what I am doing here, in the equation y square is equal to 4ax, y is equal to L I am substituting, x is equal to a I am substituting, then L square is equal to 4a into a, that is 4a square. L square is equal to 4a square, I can write 2a whole square. 4a square I can write as 2a whole square. So L square is equal to 2a whole square, which I can written as L is equal to 2a, right? So this L is equal to 2a, that means this is a 2a and down also 2a. So I can write LSL dash is equal to 2a plus 2a, which is 4a. So total LSL dash, which is the length of lattice sectum, we got it as 4a. That means in any equation of parabola y square is equal to 4ax, what is 4a? 4a represents length of lattice rectum. So therefore, the length of lattice rectum is equal to 4a. Right? Now, what we have learned today? So we have learned two types of approaches to define conic section. So first one is as a plane section of cone, and second one as a locus. And the first one is for your understanding only we told, which will not come in examination. But examination point of view, the locus part is a main important. So the two types of approaches to define conic section and introduction to parabola we have learned. When if SP by PM is equal to E, if E is equal to 1, then that is called parabola. Then we have learned general equation of parabola and standard equation of parabola. And also we have learned the important definitions like chord, focal chord, double ordinate, and lattice rectum. And also we have learned the length of the lattice rectum. Right, students? So this is about the first session of the parabola. In the next session, we are going to learn some important problems from 3a and also the various types of the parabola. Okay, thank you children. Thank you for watching. Madam.
Thank you, Vittal sir, for your elaborate explanation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Children, this is a very important topic which you have to go through again and again, because it is a new topic. You may feel that it is difficult, but if you have a lot of practice, then you can do more better. Thank you once again.